Hello, friends. Let's look at the astrology television. Welcome, all of you. I am Ozan Kirkbey. In the weekly videos, we have just reached the tarot stage. Exactly, we have just reached the tarot stage. Because there are studies in many languages, as the studies have started, we will now progress slowly in this way and expand the scope. Brother? Exactly. We will operate Zeynep with the fan. Right now, at this very moment, let's immediately see what's happening in the sky. On the 7th of the month, the moon is progressing at 16 degrees in Leo. So, an activation energy, fixed, and an energy that will occupy the mind, a flow. Let's see. In the upcoming process, what will happen in the zodiac signs over the next week? We examine this with astrology. Now we will also examine it through tarot. Yes, friends. Friends with the sun sign and rising sign in Aries. Let's see what is expected to happen in your career life over the next week. Card number 1, card number 2, and card number 3. So, our emotional reactions and emotional connections that will form the basis of this, our emotional life. Card number 1, card number 2, and card number 3. Let's see what awaits friends with the sun sign and rising sign Aries in their commercial life over the next week. It says, for today and tomorrow. The 7 of Cups says you may need to change your moves. You need to be reviewing it. Dear rising Aries, some hidden matters, events may come to light. Therefore, a question mark may arise in your mind. You might want to take a step back. It says, I wouldn't recommend it at all. I wouldn't recommend it at all. Because Mercury is slowing down in retrograde and will move direct from there. It's best for you to either change direction or change your moves. The 7 of Cups predicts this for today and tomorrow. In the middle of the week, if necessary, did you see it didn't work? Did you see it didn't work? Was it the sun that didn't work? Then you might need to escape. I did it here. It didn't work. Now, I changed the way I did it. Still didn't work. It means this place is not suitable for it. With this, my mind. To another point. If you can't do what you want to do here, you should go to a place where you can do it. The 2 of Swords says this. The 7 of Wands also confirms this. At the end of the week, where is the event heading? Now, while doing this, we first need people from Bazaslan, so they don't trip you up from behind. As you are leaving, make sure they don't try to trip you up from behind. Secondly, if you want to relax without emotion, if you want your mind to be at ease and emotionally relaxed, you may need to let go of certain things. Dear sun sign and rising sign Aries during this week. So, what does the below say? The below says that you will receive emotional support. When we say emotional support, in relation to what you want to achieve in your emotional world, regarding what you have imagined, you will receive positive news. It seems so. These positive news suggest that there will be some transformations, and in your emotional life, there might be some changes in your relationships. These turns, where will they take you? Now, what does a turn mean? It means something has happened here before. Is that correct? Correct. It's known that you won't experience the same thing again. Look, there's the 10 of Swords. If you combine this with business, if you merge it commercially, positive news may not come. In the moves you make, this time you might reach the breaking point or even go crazy. Under the swords, it already says that this place might not be suitable for you. Therefore, you might have to leave. But you need to go, making sure they won't stab you in the back. The Ace of Cups sends its regards. It says to pay attention to this. Negatives may also come. But what will you do if the result is the same when it comes? To ensure the result is the same, you need to pay attention to this sword. It might betray you mentally. It says, I'll do it. At first it says, I'll do it, then it doesn't. Then you'll be left all alone, Mr. Aries, just so you know. Now let's move on to the sun sign and rising sign, Taurus, the noble boy of the shadows. Tauruses, let's see where your situation is heading. Taurus is career life 1, career life 2, and career life 3. Tauruses, emotional life 1, emotional life 2, and emotional life 3. What is and what isn't, we'll now review from your perspective. In your commercial life, a period where you need to grab what you can. Today and tomorrow. There might be some opportunities, or you might have set your mind on certain things. You need to go on an exploration to do this. Along with exploration, you need to bring your creativity to the forefront, Leo. But even that isn't enough. That isn't enough either. This might not be sufficient. You might need to process and grab what you can. The moon will be in Leo. Finally. After that, the moon will move into Virgo. In the middle of the week, the moon in Virgo says, I make long-term plans. Virgo sign. In this case, you need to be a bit patient for returns. The moon, being in Virgo, already indicates that this will be foreseen in this way. As we reach the end of the week, the moon will be in Libra, where there is a balance, transformation, concrete imbalances, concrete matrix from the Great Arcana. A transformation of concrete balances is in question. You need to be prepared for this. Dear Taurus sign, well, you Taurus have probably foreseen this already. There's no need to panic or do anything immediately. After the middle of the week. When will balance come? At the end of the week, when the moon is in Libra. Libra is already the sign of balance. If you disrupt its balance, you can't blame it for being unbalanced. Let's look at your emotional life. My emotional life says that now, in the name of your great shadows, emotional manipulations might be in question with the 7 of Cups. Right at the beginning of the week, emotional manipulations. Mayday, 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 mayday. Towards the middle of the week, either you or with people you are emotionally connected to, there might be a climb. No. My lady, I want a knockout. I will checkmate. You put me in check, but I want a checkmate in return. How will the defense be? While in Ivashak, well, what will you do? You can't move immediately. You can't move immediately in Ivashak. You just look. Now it's hidden. Here. What are the events in question? You made a move, or the person opposite you made a move. You must make such a defense against that move that no one can trip you up from behind. Relax. Because this week, the exit of Mercury retrograde and the slowing down of Venus are in question. This is the cause of many moves from behind. If your rising sign is Taurus, Venus, and Mercury are in Aries in your 12th house, the house of being tripped up from behind, you should pay attention to it. Count on those palms. Just so you know, don't say you weren't told. Astrology and tarot are absolute. Put it in place with a snap. Now, let's move on to the Gemini sign. What is the situation? With Gemini, what is it not? For those with Gemini as their rising sign, should we say it's in the name of power from the shadows, perhaps? Gemini Career Life 1, Gemini Career Life 2, and Gemini Career Life 3. Gemini Emotional Life 1, Gemini Emotional Life 2, and Gemini Emotional Life 3. What is it not in the career life of Mr. Ms. Gemini? The number 1 card says, with the news you receive, you might be prompted to take action towards celebration. The moon is already in Leo. The cycle of the planet says so. You will take action, and if you do it at your final destination, celebration is inevitable. The moon moves into Virgo in the middle of the week. You can wrap things up there. Reason? Because your ruling planet is Mercury. Mercury rules 2 signs. One is Gemini, the other is Virgo. Gemini is an air element, while Virgo is an earth element. That will seem contrary to you. Don't feel cornered. And don't allow anyone to corner you. Dear Gemini, what was it? What was important? And at the end of the week, the moon is in Libra. That's the moment when the balances start to change you. You can foresee this very easily with the flexibility of Gemini. And you say, go ahead, attack. Exactly. You might invent an attack with the target locked. Handle the balance problem in the middle of the week well. Because Virgo is in Earth. Lightning, lightning. It seeks guarantee. You are Gemini, you seek risk. The difference becomes apparent there. Well, down below. What does down below say? Down below says, you need to set a direction for your emotional life as well. Greetings from the Hermit card. Mental Matrix card number 9. Where do you want to turn concretely? You, in your emotional line, what do you want to do in your emotional life? What are you after? There is a question, but while doing this, authorities around him in his life, you need to be careful, and you need to progress slowly and steadily. Otherwise, you'll find yourself cornered. And this won't give you a delay. I'm determining a direction, but at the point where I will determine this direction, there is also a king of talismans. The king of talismans is not easily open to innovation. But at the end of the week, look, the moon is in the headline. At the end of the week, the moon will be in Libra. You also need to be open to flexibility and renewal, which Gemini does very well. But if you get stuck here, if you get stuck there, as you notice above in the same period, the 8 of Swords also appears, the situation of being stuck. Don't allow them to pressure you. And be open to innovation. Play it, well, safe, but also be flexible. You can be flexible, but you might also need to push a bit for security. Dear Gemini, don't say, I didn't warn you later. Attention. Here, emotion, One must pay attention to both emotional and private life, while the moon is in Virgo. Let's move on to Cancer signs for now. What is the situation of Cancer signs? What is it not? Cancer sign, career life 1. Cancer sign, career life 2. And Cancer sign, career life 3. Cancer sign, emotional life 1. Cancer sign, emotional life 2. And Cancer sign, emotional life 3. Let's see, what's happening in the commercial life, dear Cancers? The number 1 card says you are transitioning to a point of satisfaction, along with support you will receive. The star card, major arcana. This represents a transition to a stage of satisfaction in your commercial life. On Monday and Tuesday, where is it heading? In the middle of the week? It is heading towards innovations in your life. If the moon is in Virgo and you are transitioning to a point of satisfaction, you need to move to the next stage after satisfaction. That is already an inevitable innovation. especially in your commercial life. And you need to handle this inevitable innovation with flexibility. You will receive support. There is no problem with the star card. At the end of the week, when the moon enters Libra, along with the news you will receive, with more than one piece of news you will receive, you will both reach an emotional sensation and move towards celebrating the possibilities that may or have occurred. Dear Sun sign and ascendant Cancer, especially in your commercial life, what the shadows have loaded. Let's see what your emotional life will say. The number one card says that you inevitably need to behave linearly. Greetings from the moon card. It says that if you move towards calculations, they will absolutely not hold. You will also remain indecisive because the calculations won't hold for which way, what you want to do. You will receive support, but there is emotional support. But in the logical field, what is this? This is the Leo saying, I will act, I can't act. I will act, I can't act. The places where I should act are crying. Now, should I, like the crabs, go from the left? Should I go from the left? That calculation. When the moon moves into Virgo, you need to do it intuitively, already at the beginning of the week, in the middle of the week. If you try to move forward at full speed, the road will directly close. But if you do this in the middle of the week, that calculation is much better. You can achieve results. But you still have to make these calculations intuitively. Because now, as is for a moment, logic. One side is intuitive. You need to combine the two. And the news you will receive at the end of the week already looks positive. Spotless. It looks like you will progress smoothly. There are the same celebrations in your career as well. In this situation, the moon card, now a dark card, evokes a feeling of wanting to finish quickly. Oh, as soon as possible now. The sun progresses logically and steadily. The moon progresses quickly. We can even take it from here as a basis. The effect of lunar eclipses always comes faster than the effect of solar eclipses. Bad news travels fast. Exactly. Now, I don't know if I was able to explain it. Let's move on to the Leo discoveries now. Let's see how the upcoming processes for Leos will progress. Leo Career Life 1, Leo Career Life 2, and Career Life 3. Emotional Life 1, Emotional Life 2, and Emotional Life 3. The number one name says, in your career life, dear Leo, you also need to review many things, even go on a discovery and initiate with the energy of a beginning. The Ace of Pentacles says so. You need to value certain things. If we want to succeed, if necessary, you need to be persistent and determined. The number 2 card is even better, a much better card. If you do this at the beginning of the week, with the news you'll receive in the middle of the week, you'll already be taking action. And those news are, oh, yes, indeed, just the kind of news I wanted. At the end of the week, when the moon enters Libra and the balance begins to shift, you need to make a change in your approach. Otherwise, you might hit a brick wall. Because Libra represents cardinal and tangible, material balances. Along with those balances, if you don't make a change in your approach and balance, when it slides down, you'll stay here. The mountain. You'll crash into this or that in between because you're going straight. At some point, it suddenly turns. But you also need to turn. If you don't turn and keep going straight, bam, it's over. What happened? I'm stuck. If only I had changed my approach. Quickly change your approach, then continue straight after that. If you can, of course, Mr. Aslan, if you can. If you can't, you'll get stuck there. Why am I saying this? Because of Aslan. Atesh and Sabit, that's why. When we delve into your emotional life, what's there? A process where you need to scratch the surface in your emotional life. A process where you need to be careful. I've swum, and now I'm at the tail end. Especially for Leo ascendants. I've swum, and now I'm at the tail end. You suddenly act with aggression. In that situation, this happens automatically. It goes completely into defense mode. It even runs away. Exactly. It goes into defense mode, even runs away. It would be good if it just went into defense and ran away. It might even trip you from behind. That's why keep a tight grip on things. There's no room for sudden reactions. Moon in Leo. There might be sudden reactions. Hold tight. Relax in the middle of the week at the beginning of the moon. If you don't, you might get tripped from behind. Because if you get tripped from behind, that dear victory will get lost in the dark alley of Arrivederci. So that, while doing this in the middle of the week, you need to clearly define your boundaries so they don't get cut. Exactly. Just like in your computer life, Mr. Leo. Otherwise, Makoko. When I say Makoko, it's final destination, game over. Exactly. Now, let's move on to Virgo signs for the time being. Let's see how the weeks will unfold for friends whose sun sign and rising sign are Virgo. Virgo career life 1, career life 2, and career life 3. Emotional life 1. Emotional life 2 and emotional life 3. For your commercial life, it says, let's see now, Mr. Virgo. Hull, concentrate, focus entirely on your career, and advance. The Knight of Kalishdarolu says so. The moon in the second position, the moon in Leo, is already supporting you, so move forward, straight ahead. Go for it. In the middle of the week, when the moon moves into Virgo, you will be able to get it. You will be able to receive that value. You will even see it. Wow, what have I done? Just make sure not to be too generous, dear Virgo. If you act too generously, this balance will slip. There's nothing you can do about it there. When the moon indeed moves into Libra, you must be able to maintain that balance. Dear Libra. Keep your ambitions in check. At the end of the week, you can make small-scale changes. In your commercial life, still keep your ambitions in check. Don't overdo it, dear Virgo. A rising start for me as well. I'm telling myself too. There's something about shame. Exactly. There's something about shame. If you're going to push forward, you'll see that the return is coming. If you go this straightforward, you'll start to help even more. What does the lower village say? The lower village says about emotional life, to continue the struggle slowly and not to make anyone too big in your mind. Don't exaggerate. Otherwise, you'll panic. Oh, Leos, you can do this because it's a fixed sign. Leo, look directly. Wow. Just keep going straight. Leo, keep going straight. Prove yourself. Don't get into too much struggle. Don't overdo it. Don't exaggerate proving yourself. Continue the normal struggle with the person in front of you. Because it's clear that they are a stubborn person. A stubborn person. At the end of the week, Ali Bashak also, did you come across the end of the week? Put the struggle aside. Also put proving yourself aside. What to do? Enjoy the emotional aspect. with artistic activities. There might be participation in artistic activities. I beg you, control your ambition in your commercial life. I beg you. Don't reflect your ambition in your commercial life here. End of the week. You might find yourself swimming in those feelings. Enjoy it. Exactly, enjoy it. Oh, there is a world. Exactly. Oh, there is a world. There is emotional, Brother, there is emotional. Brother, there is emotional. Exactly. It's kind of like that, Virgo. Friends, we have commented on the first 6 zodiac signs. The next video will focus on the next 6 zodiac signs. That's all from me for now. Arrivederci, lesson.